to have gone through the cycles of health and all those things that she went through in the university, and to have written some exams, and to have written most of her exams in the hospital, yet without carryover, with very high grades. She's very intelligent. You understand? So when I look at all these things as a parent now, you now sit and you say, okay, these are my children. These are the strengths of my children. What can I now?
Holy Spirit, thank you. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Hallelujah.
The Bible says that the utterance of your word brings light, brings illumination, breeds transformation. We ask, Lord Jesus, that you breathe your light upon today's session. Why are you laughing now? Is it how I'm praying?
Oh my God!
Is that a way I should have prayed?
No.
Or do you think I'm praying for camera?
Yeah, you are good. I like what I'm saying. No, I like what I'm saying.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. So, the last video we did, we were looking at, very intense aspects of this book by Wendy Ologe, Resolving Sibling Rivalry. And one aspect of the book, a part of it actually deals with helping a child to find their identity. Because much of the time, the reason why it might be difficult to really communicate with a child is because we've not necessarily been able to know what that child is crafted for. So for a child that some people might say, this child has ADHD, has all these attention disorders and all of those things. People might come up with some scientific reason why children behave the way they do. But if you look at some of the people that have really done extremely well, look at the inventors, for example, people who are really blazing the trail in science and technology, in AI. If you check a whole lot of them, you might realize that parents who understood their children, assisted them in their growth process. It's just like maybe somebody like having watched this documentary on Netflix of Bill Gates. You would definitely see the influence of his mom trying to assist him sometimes to deal with some character flaws that he might have had.
Social skills.
Yeah, social skills, yes. So the mother also was very instrumental to guiding him towards tech, using influence, whatever they had to put him in the right path. So it just tells me something that for children that do excellently well, there are parents who are intentional behind the scene, pivoting those children into where they might release their most creative genius. So what I'm trying to just find out from you basically is, how do you think a child can be assisted? Or how do you think a parent can discover the identity of their child?
Well, when you ask me that kind of question,
I know, but I don't want to answer me like an expert. No, but let's just have because a lot of families, we don't have experts in homes. There are consultants like Wendy that do all of these things. We understand that. So we are not trying to be experts here. We are just trying to replicate those same conversations that parents are having behind closed doors without a consultant in the middle of the entire conversation.
Yeah, so I was listening to Wendy just before we started.
It's like Wendy has become a part of our family now.
Before we started, you know that God is very merciful and He's very kind in the way He does His things, because when people say that there's nothing really like work-life balance, it's work-life counterbalance, and the fact that you focus on things as they come. So before this time, I don't think our focus was this intentional parenting.
Yeah.
But somehow, within the past few months, it has become obvious that we need to lock down and really understand how to be intentional as parents. And I know that it's still God trying to do what he's doing, because at the end they say, the Bible says that all things works together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Do we love God? Yes. Are we called according to his purpose? Yes. So even this one will also work together for our good. So in answering your question, when you talk about discovering your children and helping them to function maximally in the places where they have been called, there was a statement that my mom made when I gave birth to our son, that's our first son.
Yeah.
When he was like being changed or dressed or something like that, she was like, see him now. This one is a man. See his chest. See his hand. There are just some things that is different when you see a girl and you see a guy. It's different without having to wait for prophetic revelation and interpretation. Is obvious to the eyes. Also, there was something else that she said. Remember that there was this Mount Zion people that came into Abuja to act a movie. And when they came, somehow they were looking for a child. And then somebody called us and we went there, and Kashma was a child in the movie. And she was like, have you people started picking things about your children? She was like, these are the things that you start picking. When I gave birth to this child, when I gave birth to Kashmir, I had Pampers. I had gifts for Kashmir up until she was 6, 7, 8 months.
No, over a year. We didn't buy Pampers.
Like we had Pampers everywhere. That's something that is unique to her, to her own birth. During her birth, she didn't take all those children food. She was a strong child and everything like that. When you move to Kashmir, so those are just things that you start noticing as a parent, and then you now draw the patterns and say, oh, these are the things I'm noticing about this child. These are the things I'm noticing about this child. There will be the good ones, there will be the bad ones. There will be the ones that will happen as a result of something that the child did. And there will be others that would happen without the child doing anything. For example, Kashmir did not ask to be in that movie. But somehow he was there. So there are some things that happen. They say, okay, since all these things are happening, I think the way this child is moving. Now, I'll just give an example with my parents. I don't know if they were very intentional or not intentional. I don't know. Because the ones that could shout, shouted. The ones that could beat. The ones that could counseled. So they tried as much as they could.
Yeah, they did.
But there's something that I noticed that they did, which I think is very good. For me, they knew that I liked singing. And even with my mother, there's sometimes that you will even be asking yourself that, is this your real mother? The way she will shout, beat, all those things. But somehow, she made it just her duty to always support my music. Even up till now. If I should release a song, she'll be asking me how can she get the song to go and show her pastor and show people that her daughter has sung. Up till now, she still sends me a message. She'll be like, sing, oh, don't forget your own voice. So that's your talent. Oh. She was the person that when my dad died, and I think they paid her the gratuity. From the gratuity, she went to go and buy 2 keyboards because she just wanted me to now have an instrument that I can use to grow my music. And I remember then I would carry all this radio stuff and I would be listening to music and all those things like that. So she already knew that I had that gift, because right from when I was young, I used to use like comb and everything to like drum and all that.
You were a drummer?
Yes. I used to drum as a child in church. So like she like knew all those things, and she tried. She even wanted me to study music. I was the one that told her that I will not study music. Let me study something else since I already have the talent. But she supported me in that. Right now, I'm not singing, but where I am today is as a result of music, because it was music that led me to music business, from there to start my company, from there to the development space. It all streamed from music. So the confidence that I got from being a singer, standing in front of a crowd, singing to thousands of people, it is that same confidence that I'm now using in the work space. So that helped me. If you look at my second born, Rachel is good with her hands. And everybody knew that she was good with her hands. When it comes to baking, cooking, making hats, making beads, anything that has to do with the hands, she's very talented with that. And my mother supported her in learning how to bake, learning how to do beads, learning how to do different things. So she supported her in doing all those things. And that was because she understood that this is her gift. Sorry. Then I remember visitors would come to our house and the rest of us would be scrambling how to run away because we don't want to cook and all that. Rachel will quickly run into the kitchen and she will get food and she will start, no matter what is there, even if it's beans, she'll quickly pound it, blend it, make akara, make pap. She'll say, this is the little we have. Oh. Like as if she's the mother of the family. She was always like that. She was always protective, that kind of thing. She has that kind of attitude. And when you notice things like that about your child, I think it would be good to now say, okay, how can I maximize the gift that this child have? How can I make this gift excellent?
Yeah.
Because an excellent person or an excellent gift can cross borders. Because excellence is a universal language. So once you can say, okay, this is the gift that my child has, how can I make this an excellent gift? That's my second child. That's my second sister. My third sister, Ziba. Ziba is an excellent writer. And anything that she says she wants to do, she will put in her 100% into it. Yeah. If you want her to read, then even as children, whenever we're resuming to school and they tell us, write your Christmas
how did
holiday.
I spend my last holiday?
My God. My dad was a fantastic writer. So when he says we should write, the difference will be clear, whether first born, second, but when she writes her own, the difference, because the way the angle she would start from, she was a very good writer and she's still a very good writer. So for her, she was able to move and also learn like that. So what I'm just trying to say, but you know what? My fourth sister, which is Dorcas necessarily did not show this kind of skills of singing, though she could dance.
She's actually, she's a dancer.
Singing.
She did dance.
Singing, writing, all those things. No, she didn't have, but she's very articulate. She's very logical. And all those things too. And there's nothing about Dorcas. Dorcas never struggled for recognition or visibility. I'm just talking about understanding.
It comes to her.
Yes. Understanding a child and the way that they are. Some children that are just like that. Right from when she was small, she was very fair. She had long hair. People were gravitating towards her as a child.
It comes to her.
They even came to meet my mom that, please, can she do modeling for a cream or something like that? But then we're SU. How would I say, please, take this away from me, please?
Ungodly.
But aside from that, she had that going into school, children will want to even be touching her. That by the time she comes back, sometimes you will see scratch because people wanted to touch her because she was fair, she was fine. Anytime that they are doing all these things in school and they want like a star child to be in front, march past, anything that they are doing, they will always want her to be in front. She was excellent in her academics. She stopped at primary 4. She passed her common entrance. From there, she went to secondary school. From SS2, she moved to university. University, she was the second best. Like, academically, she was sound. Then in like beauty, recognition, attention. So when you see a child like that, you just know that this is another. And when you even see the circumstance of her birth, they were like praying for a male child. So we used to say that God knew that he wasn't going to give them a male child at that time. That was going to give them a female, but he made sure that he puts a lot of package into her and he gave birth to her. My brother sings. My mom has invested in him a lot in his music career. Same with my sister.
Your brother doesn't just sing. Your brother
he's an anointed singer.
Your brother ministers.
He ministers, yes.
As in he's and he does it effortlessly.
Effortlessly, yeah.
I just feel like sometimes I don't want to say God is partial, but God is he's perfect in everything that he does. When I look at your brother, sometimes I'm like, it also comes to him. Mm-hmm. Your brother doesn't struggle
with
for
music,
anything. For anything.
Oh, for anything, yeah.
For anything.
And I think about him too is that he's a very
for anything.
He's a very content and a very grateful person.
Yeah.
And you know, when you have contentment and you are grateful, it's a plus. And then my last sister, she's intelligent. She's a very good writer. I never knew she was a very good writer because of the age gap. But I've been following her her writing blog.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm surprised. She's a very good writer and she's very intelligent because I was thinking about it. To have gone through the cycles of health and all those things that she went through in the university.
Yeah.
And to have written some exams.
Yeah.
And to have written most of her exams in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yet without carryover, with very high grades, she's very intelligent. You understand? So when I look at all these things as a parent now, you now sit and you say, okay, these are my children. Yeah. These are the strengths of my children. What can I now do? So based on observing those things, you now think of, okay, what can I do? If I look at our own children now, I'm still trying to, because I know I've asked you some of those questions severally. I've said, okay, this is Kashmir. These are the things that, this is the way she behaves, the way she carries herself, and the things that are important to her. Just like how you're talking about your sister and about how she likes respect, authority. What's her name? Kashmir also. Yeah. She likes honor.
Kashmir likes honor.
Honor, respect.
She likes
and all those things like that. And so I think that sometimes the truth is that we are very, very busy as parents to actually sit and observe things about our children. And if we don't observe those things about our children, there's no other person that will observe it for us. But if we can find it, then we can channel some of their restlessness. Because for me, I know that my mom channeled some of my restlessness into just singing, choir rehearsals, writing music, all those things. So all the times when I will be down and I will start writing sad songs, at least I'm improving my musical talent. But at least I had like a channel to let go of some of his team that I had. So looking at our children now, for example, if I look at someone like Kashmir is very good in mathematics and he can be a logical person. However, I think that there are some people that because they are intelligent and they are good at anything they touch, some people get confused. Because they are like, okay, if I should touch football, I'm good at it. If I face maths, I can do it. Even if they're teaching in my class and I go under the table, if they draw me out, I can say what they said. I have a magnetic memory. So with that, they now take lightly what they should concentrate on. Yeah. And if they don't have parents that can help them and guide them, then they will just be doing different things because they can do it. And for those kind of children, I think they even need special to actually help them so that they don't just spread their energy around and all that. So, as you said from the beginning, I'm not an expert because right now, where I am with even this topic, it's a very touchy topic to me. As you can see that my husband is wearing suits today.
Oh, really?
The reason why you're wearing suits today is because we had to go to our child's school, right?
Yeah, we had
to. We had to because we are in this, we're actually in the center of this whole parenting thing and we're trying to figure it out and all. And my husband was like, okay, even as we are going to this school, we have to dress. We have to dress very well.
The right frame.
Let us have the right frame so that as we are going to the school, people will not misunderstand
our identity.
So we had to. Me, I still dressed as simple, but at least he has dressed.
I even say I must
whole iPad.
I must just because I want to appear. Of course, I'm not necessarily appearing. I'm that.
This is
who I am.
Yes.
I'm a legal practitioner. You are as well.
I am.
We are both lawyers. I'm an international lawyer, a lawyer with years of international exposure. Mm-hmm. And I pride myself, without being proud, in the fact that I'm transversing continents in terms of service delivery and, of course, opportunities that God has brought my way. And I think that's a very happy place, to be. So I didn't want to show up in my son's school on a jean and a t-shirt and get my identity
mixed up,
misaligned and misunderstood. So I said, let me just go there. Not necessarily speaking as a lawyer, but just appearing in a frame that lets people know that what we are here for is it's actually important, is an important thing that we came here for something important. Yeah. And the beauty also, just recounting on the experience of being in their school today was the atmosphere. Like, it was cordial. It was very, like, the feedback was good and it kind of allayed our fears. But one thing is sure, we need to find out, looking at our children and how they respond to different things, we need to start digging further, digging deeper to know, okay, with this kind of personality that this person has, who are the people that have gone before with this kind of personality? What have those people done? What environment did those people thrive in? And what have they become? If we can understand this is a framework. I think God just gave me this framework. I've not thought about it before. And I'm excited.
Did I know you before? Did I prophesy?
So I feel if we can do that first step, it will give us a clearer picture of who our children are. And it can better guide us on how to respond to them. Yeah. Like I was telling you today, like I was like, I don't want to use the word hit, but I don't want to discipline my son again in a way that appears that he feels any kind of physical pain.
I think,
in that sense. And I really want to be under that structure of having to speak more, having to engage more, having to really ask him those deep questions. Like sometime last week, was it last week or early this week? I just felt I needed to connect with him. And I was like, let me take you out. So I took him out. We went to Chicken Republic. He actually ordered what he wanted to eat. I paid for it. I think from there, did we stop anywhere else? Maybe we bought something in another supermarket and we came back home. And he was very happy, even though he was still very distracted there. His food, he will play, something else to take his attention. And I'll be like, young man, you are here with me. Focus on me. Let's talk. We are gisting. We're having a conversation, and it was really interesting, just watching him unbundle. And sometimes you would think that children are not carrying some emotional burden or weight at times. The truth is that the same way you as a parent, you are feeling the brunt or the bond of, you having to provide, you having to do chores, you having to be there for your child. Your child is also going through something. I feel every child is going through something. They may not necessarily talk about it, but every child is actually going through something. And there are things that we parents do. There are as parents, we might do certain things that also add to what the stress that our children are actually passing through without them necessarily talking about it. So I feel that intentional parenting, just off my head, I'm just thinking that, it should also involve parents also getting to that point where they can communicate with their children. You see a boy of 5 years old or 4 years old, like our last one is almost 5 now. You'll be shocked what that guy can say if you really engage him about the things that are going on in his head, in his mind, the decisions he has to make in school, what are the strategies he uses to get by certain... You think they don't have a tough time. They go to school, we think, they have food in their food park, they have biscuit, they have Ribena. Those guys are also dealing with stuff. Even having to pick a book, having to read, having to do homework at their level, it's also taking a toll. I don't want to use the word mental health, but it's also taking a toll on them. And the best gift I feel any parent can give a child, beyond snacks, beyond going to the movies, is to allow them, is to give them that opportunity for them to emotionally decompress. I don't think this is done enough. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said in one of the videos that we shot, like, I had cause to speak with my sister, and when she was saying certain things about how our childhood was and the things that she had to pull through, I was like, wow, you mean you felt all of this growing up as a child? In fact, she also detailed like her own escape routes, the things she used to do, the activities she was involved with in church and other extracurricular activities, just for her to decompress. imagine then if any of my parents were able to pick that up and were like, let's talk this through. Let's have a conversation. I want to know how you feel. I want to know how you are pulling through with all of the things you do for your younger ones, being responsible at a young age for younger siblings, like decompressing for a child. I think it's a new skill, the skill to aid children in that process of mental and emotional decompressing. I think that's very important. It's an important thing that we can do for our children to give them that much needed stability and also not to clog their pathway, their mental pathway with different kinds of traumas, So it's something that I want to really do more often. At least I have a date with my daughter. She's the next person I'm going to take out. And I think maybe you should do that too, so that you can be eating with them as well. Because taking them out too, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I also want to see how I can change the environment for her, not necessarily being at home. Let's go somewhere, just the two of us, just having a conversation, just talking. Like my daughter would say something about her class. Maybe there's a boy that girls like to hang around and talk to.
The guy is like her seatmate.
You'll be shocked the thought processes that are going through her mind. She's trying to understand certain things.
Yeah.
Imagine having a 30 minutes or 1 hour hangout with a child.
For her to really express.
Just for her to express herself and for you to provide that much needed guidance. Children are actually looking for guidance. They are screaming at it. They are screaming for guidance. But parents are looking the other way while looking at their kids because they cannot decode what is to be decoded so that child can be helped to understand where they are at and for them to be retooled to make the right decisions. When I laugh like this, I feel I'm proud. But I know you understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, but I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we are having the opportunity to share in this particular,
I like all the things that you've shared. And while you were speaking, I was just thinking about our relationship with the children. Even though we mostly work from home, I still feel like that one-on-one time.
Yeah.
We have necessarily not provided that time for the children in the sense that there is already like a routine. Like you go to school, you come back, lesson teacher, you eat, you have your baths, you go for lesson, you finish your lesson, you conclude your homework, you arrange your bed, you go and sleep. So you pray, you sleep. So there's just that circle and it's going months in, months out.
Yeah.
And there's really no time. And I've just been thinking about it, like, what will it take? Even if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, each child, you like draw them close alone or something. You ask them, how was your day? What happened today? Just in a still, though, like some of the boys who want to shift and run and go and play football, but you like calm them down and really know what is going on. I think it's very important. There was one very silly question that our last born asked us like 2 or 3 Sundays ago.
And what did he say?
That was in Grandpa's house. One shocking question while we were on the dining table that you said that you decided not to talk about it, that you will not even address.
Can you remind me?
No, it's a very touchy thing. No, don't worry. I will not say it here, but I'm just saying like it was very, and I was just thinking that because I was trying to ask him like
how did his mind?
Yeah, where did your mind? Did you see anything? Did anything and everything? And he was just playing. He said it in while he was playing. And he finished, and I was trying to get him to concentrate to really talk, and he just went back into like his play mode. So he didn't even care, he just said this, and he just continued playing. And I was thinking, I said, God, these are things that parents miss.
Yeah. If you are not talking.
You don't find that. Because if it was that we weren't seated, not talking, just quiet, he wouldn't have the opportunity to just play and mention that. So I feel like parents miss a lot.
There's even something I want to mention.
In the whole activity.
Something I want to mention, and it's just unfortunate that if you look around, for example, in Abuja, for example, I remember growing up in Lagos, in Festac. I know that Festac is a whole lot different now. Festac used to be child-friendly. Festac is no longer child-friendly. Because then when we were growing up, we had playground. As in, we had playground. We used to call it Jangolova. All those, the ones that spin, the ones that go up and down. the one that will climb will come out like this, like provided by the government. Mm-hmm. We had all of those things where your parents already knew that when you come back from school, there are some days that you go for extra lessons. And there are days like, I think we used to space extra lesson. We go on Monday, we go on Wednesday, we go on Friday, we also go on Saturday. So on Tuesday and Thursday, as in, that's its playtime. How many children even have playtime? If I look at our area where we live here, most of the people who own properties around here, everybody, their kids are locked in, compound. locked in. We didn't have that whole locked in kind of, arrangement growing up. We'll play all that. We'll play football. We'll ride bicycle. In fact, we'll drive from A close to D close. We had a place where we used to go and turn. So there used to be this guy, Amy. Amy will provide his bicycle. He had several bicycles. His dad really invested a lot in football, in toys. So he'll bring like 3 bicycles. Another guy will bring like 2 people, will bring like 1. So we'll now do bicycle race. We'll ride. All that. There are some areas where when you are driving on speed, you can raise the bicycle up. You would jump over something, you land, you keep going. So we had that kind of childhood. But looking at my kids now, for example, I feel they are that place where they want to express something different that academics or lesson teacher cannot feel.
Yeah.
As parents, we are feeling that the creative G spots. What's a G spot?
How will I know?
How did that come out from my mouth?
How will I know what that is?
Sorry, guys. We are feeling the creative spots of our children with lesson teachers. One layer of lesson teacher, another layer of lesson teacher, lesson teacher. Some people, it's not lesson teacher they are using cartoon. Children come home, they are watching cartoon from morning till night. So we are stimulating them in the wrong direction. Academics is good. Over academics, just tell me, who over academics help? Like I was talking to my brother in Canada and he told me one thing because I was just talking about my kids and all that. He was like, you're always talking about one lesson to another lesson to another lesson. You mean your kids don't do any extracurricular activities? They don't go out to play soccer? They don't do this? And I'm like, I've not really thought about it in that direction. Maybe it's something to really sit back to start thinking about.
But all those just tennis before, stuff now.
Just before
those tennis bats. Is it bats?
Just before I wrap up, so that you can speak as well. I remember many years ago, I was in the UK and my boss then, Honorable Seme Ibo, he came into town and he came visiting and we were at a play area. Just like the ones we used to have in Lagos in Festac back in the days. We were at a play area somewhere in Glasgow and we saw some kids playing soccer. It was a green area, a greenery, very beautiful. And we just stood back, we were watching them play skills and all that. And now I'm just thinking, when I even look at Abuja as a whole, as a full whole, I cannot tell where that exists in this whole city for kids, apart from Millennium Park. I'm talking of within residential neighborhoods. You have all of those things within residential neighborhoods where people can just go out, chill, they can relax. Even in Germany, you have all those green areas. People just go lay their mat on the floor. Their dog is playing one way. Their kids are riding bicycles. They have few apples here and there. And people just try to provide some level of sanity for their children because that is also important. As much as people are like, let our children read and read, we that have done all the reading, we can almost tell that without the mercies of God, especially living in a climate like this, without the mercies of God, where you cannot project, you cannot forecast. Because you don't, what are you even forecasting? You can't forecast, you can't project anything. If God is not leading you part-time, that means you are working not under grace, but under labor, under stress, things like that. So I feel that one of the gifts that any parent can give to a child is to see how they can raise a total child. A child that should also have an existence outside of the classroom. A child that should have an existence outside of, the I don't know how to put it, but children should not
intellectual
yes,
structure.
Like we are choking our kids too much with a whole lot of academics. I feel that, especially for us personally, I feel that they are under so much academic pressure. There is nothing else that they can say is really exciting that they do apart from after school, they come, they eat, they shower, they do all of that. Then the lesson teacher is around, they do lesson. After lesson, we pray, they sleep, they wake up, they do that whole routine Monday to Saturday. Sometimes on Sunday, even we still give them another lesson dose. So we might need to work on that sincerely. I don't mind them taking like a day cut.
They already have a day cut.
Yeah,
Cashmore, they have so Tuesday and Thursday.
And we must fill that up with something interesting. Not another book to read, not another, mathematics to solve. Let's see how, and I believe that there are parents like us out there who do not necessarily know better. And you just giving the same medicine. It's just like antibiotics. After a while, somebody is always taking antibiotics. After a while, it's no longer potent. So we must be able to mix the variety of the things that our kids are consuming.
Yeah.
And we must be intentional. We also must be part of their own system so that they can build those memories. And they can also have memories that, they'll be proud of, and they will say, oh, this was really a beautiful childhood. So I think I'll rest there for now.
Yeah, I was trying to say that I think you bought a table tennis bat, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying that you were going to buy the table.
Yeah.
So we're still expecting it.
We're expecting the table, right? It will even be nice. People can even shoot videos sometimes playing tennis. What do you think?
I've not thought.
It will be nice, actually. It will be good recreation as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so, recreation. What will you say about when parents get into the space of worry?
I think worry is of the devil. Worry beclouds you of the right atmosphere to have creative thinking. That's what worry does. And like today, you were getting a bit agitated at some point. I was like, no, don't worry. Don't allow worry seep into you. This issue, worry never solved any problem. It only creates more worry, more anxiety. Then worry gets to a point where it now gravitates into fear. Once you enter fear, you're already a candidate for the enemy to strike. When the enemy has struck you, what's left for him to strike your kids? So the devil will place worry in front of you, not necessarily because of you, but because of your child. So you must be wise as a parent to know how to recruit, like how to pull yourself out of worry so that you can be in that spiritual frame of mind to be able to support your child who needs help and who needs support, because you cannot be in that place of worry and actively provide the right capsule that your child needs per time to be able to help them through the challenges that they are facing. So I feel that worry is not the best. It would come, but you must be able to walk around it to still be mentally and spiritually active in the interest of your child.
Thank you. Have you been able to decipher the gifts in the three children that we have?
Well, looking at them, like when I look at my son, my first son, for example, I just think of Elon Musk sometimes. I just feel that God sometimes places some level of restlessness in a child because of the glorious future that he has for that child. If you look at many of all these people like Elon, if you look to his childhood, you see that whole restlessness, even when he created PayPal, and he now moved into SpaceX and was doing a lot of things, you can just easily tell that this is somebody whose mind 100%, I don't think his mind is ever in a state of rest. He's always thinking. Some people have not finished thinking of their village somewhere in Kogi. Somebody's already thinking of Mars. How can Mars be a warehouse for Earth? Like, people are having those thought processes. And we all have the same 24 hours. So I feel that for a child that is having that whole attention, that is already gifted, he needs an outlet. So for me, knowing what I know and on the basis of the 4-step model that I mentioned in this video earlier, which I'm still going to see how I can watch and pull that out, I want to see how I can create a template, an intelligent template that can help me to further zoom into what each of my kids can be doing part-time and what can help them to accelerate or to move faster towards where they want to get to. And sometimes it's not necessarily all about moving faster. It's just about taking those steady steps, the steady steps that can still help them to arrive at that place where God has destined for them.
What about your other children?
Yeah, I've touched. For my first daughter, for example, I know that she necessarily doesn't know how to, in terms of her own operation, she likes to operate from a place of authority. So I see a leadership skill there. I see somebody that wants to lead, but for you to lead, like I always say, you must be able to be led. You must be led first. So putting her within that framework of a business leader, somebody who has the confidence. She actually has the confidence. She doesn't just know it yet. She has the confidence. She has the mindset. She has that, her framework, her wiring is such that she's in a place where she can be heard. She likes to be heard. So for somebody that likes to be heard, what are the things they need to do? They need to improve on their communication skills. They need to just do things that will make them more appealing in terms of having to share, and not necessarily sharing between her siblings, but sharing to the world, sharing to platforms, sharing to nations. When I look at her, that's actually what I see. Even for me as a child, I used to be that person that I just loved sharing. I love being a place of sharing. So for our last son, he's more like somebody, he's more like a humanitarian. I see him as somebody who will be so wealthy, so rich. He will be giving alms to people that don't have anything. He will be doing a lot of outreaches. He's just that kind of NGO kind of guy. A guy who wants to make the world a better place. Yeah, a philanthropist. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So please find out who your kids are really. And I just trust God that the more we begin to pay attention to our children, we'll do better with them and do better with life.
Thank you.
The world will be a better place. Yeah.